Welcome to another video, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about Bommal and how you can be clearing it very easily with the help of one epic champion, which is Lady Annabelle. Bommal definitely was one of the hardest pieces of content I needed to tackle back in the day, but nowadays it's actually very easy, and it wasn't that hard back in the day either, if we gotta be completely honest, as long as you have some pretty good champions. I hope you find the video helpful, and if you think I've earned your subscription, a like and subscribe would really be awesome, and don't forget you can download Raid, and create yourself a second account, or try the game for the first time from my download link, and that is gonna give you 4 amazing champions, including Lady Annabelle, which is the key component for this video. You're also gonna have 24 hours to use the promo code section to get yourself an extra amazing legendary champion, so make sure to choose accordingly. By the way, right now we do have a promo code active, so if you guys still haven't gotten it, we do write Raid Vision, and that's gonna give you quite a lot of good amazing stuff, including a 5-star chicken, a bunch of energy, some multi-battles, and a little bit of silver, so all around pretty good stuff. Now, let's get into the video. Right now we do have the Bommal rotation. I still haven't reached level 90, let's face it, nobody has, it's just too early in the rotation, but yes, Bommal is indeed quite the menace of a champion, because if you try to actually beat this guy the traditional way, well, it's gonna be nearly impossible. The guy really doesn't like debuffs, and he also dislikes you having buffs either, and you really don't want to be controlling his turn meter either, because it's just gonna be devastating. This guy is gonna be throwing bombs on your champions like there's no tomorrow, and he's also gonna be summoning dread bombs, which are also quite the deadly combinations, so all around the boss really is very painful to actually face, but there are quite a few good niche strategies that are gonna work very well against them. The thing about bombs is they don't care about your defense, and same can be said for his dread bombs too, so the only way you can actually reduce the damage from those dread bombs would be if you actually either get yourself block damage, or if you actually freeze those bombs, and that is actually gonna slash that damage in half. But still, they can be quite deadly, especially if you summon plenty of them. And also Bommal does smack quite hard himself, so having a little bit of defense won't hurt, but the 2 main damage sources against you would be indeed both the bombs. Anyway, enough about that. We're not here to talk about how to beat Bommal with traditional strategies, we're here to talk about how you can beat him with exact champions. One of the best strategies you could be beating Bommal with would be actually with Nishak, because he is gonna be slapping some serious bombs against him, and that is actually one of the fastest ways to be clearing Bommal like that, with the help of the bombs from Nishak the Vermin Lord, but let's face it, not that many of us actually have this guy, myself included. There are also other not so expensive strategies that can also work very well, and the other really good epic you could be using against this guy would be Burangiri, because this guy has this passive. Heals this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or an enemy dies. And with the dread bombs, that's exactly what's happening. The dread bomb dies, it heals Burangiri back by 50%, and then the other bomb dies, and the same thing happens, so basically Burangiri doesn't really take any damage from those. So honestly, if you have Burangiri, the strategy with Lady Annabelle is gonna be pretty much the same, but in this video I will be showcasing Lady Annabelle for the most part, but you can definitely do almost the exact same thing here. I'm not sure if the stats are gonna be the same or different, but I already have my Lady Annabelle built, so might as well talk about her. There she is, Lady Annabelle in all of her glory. She really does have some insane graphics going on here, like look at these huge nails, man, like they are some serious pokers right there. And don't even get me started on her amazing round eyes, like they are seriously a sight to behold. And I would say the only thing missing here would be a pair of fat tits in the background, like I do love myself some nice birds in the background, but oh well, it can't be perfect. Anyway, Lady Annabelle does have the exact same passive as Burangiri does, and she again does heal this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or an enemy dies. So this again with the dread bombs is gonna be very good for you, and this way she is gonna remain at full health, and the only thing that's actually gonna be damaging her are the traditional bombs, which will be ignoring defense, and also the traditional Bommal attacks, which are also gonna actually get reduced if you do have some defense on her, but it's not gonna be that important for you. Other than that, her A1 is also kinda cool, because she does attack an enemy 2 times, and each hit heals this champion by 3% of their max HP, so this is not gonna be a bad idea for you to actually get a little bit of extra healing, but her other skills are actually potentially dangerous for you, because she does attack all enemies and has a chance of placing leech as well as decreased speed, and if you are placing those, that is going to be summoning extra dread bombs, and you really don't want those. The other dangerous skill this girl has is she swaps HP with a target ally, so if you bring somebody like Wukong for extra damage, well, this thing might actually kill her, because if she swaps with Wukong when he's just about to die, well, Lady Annabelle's gonna die and she ain't coming back, whereas Wukong would. So when you're actually facing the boss, it's probably best to turn off both of these. Even though I myself do clear this even with these not turned off, best be safe than sorry. Here's the champion up close, and I do have her built quite stacked at this point. I even have her at +2, so that definitely is a lot of extra stats. I do have a little bit of Ascension going on, and I did actually build her quite fat, so she can really take a hit. But you can definitely tone down these stats. I've seen her work pretty good, even with like something along the lines of 80k total HP, 2500 defense, but the speed actually might get a little bit bumped. Sitting at around 240-50 would probably be a little bit better, even though with the Masteries we do actually have some decent speed. Here's what my total stats look like on her right now, and let me actually put the Doom Tower bonuses, because I did indeed invest quite a lot into them, and yes, I do actually have +20 speed on her, so she is technically very close to 240 speed. So yeah, these are some serious stats, and with these stats you will be able to clear Bommal 90 with no problem, but it does actually take quite a lot of time, like something like 5 to 6 minutes, because you actually don't deal that much damage, but you also don't die, so it's just a game of time. The HP is definitely very important here, because as you guys know, traditional bombs do ignore defense completely, so having more HP is gonna help you survive those, but getting a little bit of extra defense also ain't that bad, because the normal smacks Bommal is gonna be slapping you with also do hurt, but definitely concentrate on HP over defense if you can. For the speed, the faster the better, like the more turns you're taking, the faster you're gonna be chipping away at the boss, and also the regen set is gonna be doing a lot better work. If you can get some crit rate and crit damage, that's not gonna hurt, but it's definitely not what you're trying to get. And also do not get yourself accuracy, because you don't really want to be landing those debuffs. Accuracy doesn't hurt to be on her, don't get me wrong, but just turn those abilities off, and definitely ignore it if you're just building her for Bommal. I myself do use her in other places nowadays when she is a part of the Centranos rotation, but for the Bommal fight you definitely don't care about either the accuracy or the resist for that matter. Bommal does have insane accuracy, especially at stage 90. It's like something like 800 accuracy. Don't take my word for it. Here's the Raid Stages tool, a very great place for you to be getting yourself this information. And here it is. For stage 50, the dude has 550 accuracy, which means you need to have 655 resistance in order to be resisting these. And on floor 90, it's even harder. 855 resist is what you need to have there. So you either need to slash his accuracy in half or increase your resistance a lot with buffs and stats themselves, but like we said, we're not going to be fighting this guy traditionally, so it doesn't really matter too much. Anyway, for the set, we do have 4 pieces regen as well as 2 pieces immortal, and that is going to give you a good amount of healing. Like you guys know what the regen set does. It heals you by 50% each turn, and also immortal gives you plus 15% HP as well as 3% healing each turn again. This is basically how you want to be building any solo farmer. In this case, Lady Annabelle is basically a solo farmer only for the boss, but yeah, you get it. And as for the accessories, actually if you do have reaction accessories, those would work pretty well in here. I myself don't really have any of those. I'm not really looking for them nowadays, but the reaction accessories are actually pretty good, again, because of her A1, and this is going to be giving you extra chances of extra healing, but honestly, if it comes down to that, you're probably not gonna be that happy with how you built your lady anyway. So yeah, nowadays we also have relics in here, so if you are struggling with the stats, it would be amazing if you actually slap her a golden elixir. This way she's gonna be healing a lot when she does drop below 50, so this is gonna be another extra line of defense if things are not looking too hot. Or you could just slap her with any old relic that does just have a good amount of HP as her main stat. That is also gonna help you get a little bit of extra defense and whatnot. You could also give her the Journal of Necrotos. No, actually not sure if the book is really gonna do all that much, but yeah, you get it. Just get yourself either some HP or just straight out get yourself the golden elixir, because this really is gonna make the fight a lot easier and these stats are gonna be a lot less intimidating for you. If you are lucky enough to have a blessing on her, if you want the fight to go fast, I'd say it would be best if you actually go for Phantom's Touch, because this is gonna give you a lot of extra damage. This is also gonna give you a good amount of extra HP and defense if you actually did get at least a 3-star blessing. But yeah, the extra damage from Phantom Touch is gonna help the fight last a little bit less. As for the Masteries, here's where the real money's at, because these are gonna be very important. In order for you to be dealing damage at a decent rate against Bommal, you will definitely want to get yourself the War Master, so you could be inflicting bonus damage equal to 10% of this champion's max HP, or more like 4% of the target's max HP when attacking bosses. So yeah, this is gonna be very helpful. You basically go with the traditional red stuff on the left, and as for the blue stuff, you want to get yourself extra HP, you want to get yourself extra healing. It's very important you also get yourself the Spirit Haze, because all of the other champions are going to be dead, so you are going to get 24 extra speed this way, which is pretty nice. And I was actually today years old when I realized this thing does not go up to 32, so if you do have a 5-man team, this is still only going to be plus 24 speed, which still ain't no joke. But I actually thought this thing goes up to 32 in that case. Guess I was dumb. Lore of Steel is also not that bad. It's not going to give you all that much in this case, just a little bit of extra HP because of the 15% HP from the Immortal set. And yeah, all around these are going to be the Masteries, and this is going to be the way you are going to be surviving this fight a lot easier, as well as dealing a lot more damage. Anyway, enough talking, let's just see how the fight goes in action. Like I said, we've only reached stage 50 here, and here is my old team, how I actually used to fight against Bommal, and a few important things. On the actual fight, you don't want any of your champions actually buffing Lady Annabelle, because that is going to give you extra bombs on her, which is gonna be needless extra damage. And this is actually something I just noticed. My freaking Deliana is placing a 25% strength and when she loses 50% HP, which is definitely not a great passive to be having in this fight. So instead of her, we are gonna play somebody else with an HP aura actually. So this way you also don't need to have as high base HP on her. Who are we gonna put on? Let's say this guy, because he's also farmable from Doom Tower, so most people probably have him. Well, if you're having troubles with Bommal, probably not, but the thing is, I'm just putting some generic HP aura in here just for the sake of everybody having a little bit easier time of actually surviving the Bommal damage. I'm not gonna put somebody like Empress or something like that, like it's not something that is expected for most people to actually have right now. Here we have it. And like I said, on the boss fight, which is round 3, you want to be turning off any potential buff you could be giving your allies, so you actually don't give extra bombs to Lady Annabelle. And here's what the fight looks like. It is gonna be a little bit on the slow side here, till my idiots actually get the job done, but we also have Wukong in here, who is indeed gonna help the fight last a little bit less at the boss level, because he's just gonna keep coming back. And again, very important, Lady Annabelle does not want to be using either of her skills here, because that is gonna make the fight needlessly hard. And also it does have the chance of her actually killing herself with Wukong. If she does give him Revive on Death and swaps HP with him, that would be a huge no-no. Okay, all of our idiots are almost dead. As soon as those Dread Bombs die, everybody else dies. But Lady Annabelle, thanks to the passive, is gonna remain. There we go. Even my fat regen set Artak managed to die there, but it is to be expected after all. Without a passive like Lady Annabelle, not very many champions can survive. And there we have it. Now Wukong is gonna keep coming back, getting a little bit of extra damage for the fight to last a little bit less. And Lady Annabelle does keep on poking. Don't worry, you could do this even without Wukong if you don't have him, but he definitely does help, because he's just gonna keep on dying, keep on slapping, and God knows he does slap a little bit harder than Lady Annabelle ever could, so this is gonna help you go through this a little bit easier, smoother, and not having to wait for over 5 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna remove myself here and speed things up so you guys can see the whole fight nice and quick, and I'll be back in a few minutes. And there you have it, guys. It still was quite the long battle, over 5 minutes, but if you have a little bit better champions, especially for the initial damage, like if you bring somebody fat like Marius. Well, obviously if you have Marius, you shouldn't be watching this video, but yeah, somebody that is just gonna deal a little bit extra damage in the early turns before everybody dies, that is gonna save you a little bit, a good chunk of time. But yes, this is basically how it is gonna go, a little bit on the slow side, and it's gonna be even slower against Bommal 90. And we are talking about hard here. On easy, the stats are gonna be a lot easier. But yeah, once again, for the gear, you want to be looking for speed on the boots. If it has HP percent as substats, that'd be amazing. Defense percent also doesn't hurt, but again, HP percent is the priority. For the chest, you want HP as the main stat, HP percent. Again, if you have speed, defense percent, or flat HP in the substats, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, but as you see, I don't even have any defense or speed on this chest, and it's working just fine. The gloves, again, you want HP percent on them. If they ascend into HP percent, that'd be amazing as well, but don't really bother too much with those. Speed would be great, a little bit of defense percent if you can get some, but if you can't, it's no biggie. On the shield, you want speed, HP percent if you can. As you see, I only have a little bit of speed on this piece, so it's a pretty crappy shield to be having on her. Here we have a little bit of HP percent, a little bit of speed again, and same with the weapon, HP percent and speed is all you need. For the banner, it would be best if this is flat HP main stat. Speed in here, HP percent, that's what we're looking for. In here again, we're looking for flat HP as the main, and that's about it really. That's all a banner could be giving you, and you feeling happy about it. A little bit of defense also don't hurt. And for the ring, you want flat HP main stat and HP percent as a substat. So that's about it for this video, guys. I hope you found it helpful, and do let me know if you need more guides about the Doom Tower bosses, and I will do my best to provide. Don't forget you can check me live on stream each Tuesday and Thursday, where I do free account takeovers for my viewers and help them with all sorts of different problems they might be having in Raid. Download the game from my download link if you still haven't, or you're planning on starting a new account, and thanks for watching. I'm Chris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.